the whole goal is to get Evansville as like their, not really the test area, but
Better than nothing.
Yeah, I guess that's very true.
yeah.
Good. Call to order the regular council meeting for the town of Evansville. May I have roll call, please?
Mayor Chad Edwards.
Here.
Councilmember Joe Cannell.
Here.
Councilmember Candace Machado. Here. Councilmember Michael Scott.
Here.
Councilmember Kathy Stipes.
Here.
Town Attorney Scott Murray and Aaliyah Scott.
Here.
Town Engineer Shane Porter.
Here.
Town Planner Scott Radden.
Here.
Chief of Police Mike Thompson.
Here.
Fire Chief Leo Mawson.
Here.
Public Works Representative Robert Llewellyn.
Here.
Town Clerk Janelle Underwood, listed citizens.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Item 1, the consent agenda. Approval of the regular meeting minutes for August 9th, 2021, work session and executive session for August 16th, 2021. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 2, public hearing on the secondary access road project funded by the Cdbg.
Want me to take this one? So this is just a public hearing. It's required by the Wyoming Business Council and it's part of the kind of the closeout of the grant. Public hearing just to invite citizens to comment on the project. Any problems with it or they like it or whatever. So it's just required by the grant to hold this public.
All right. Do we have any public comments? Public comments? All right. Public hearing concluded. All right, item 3, intent of the Cdbg projects, A, community development grant, and the B, community development grant with COVID. That's, I'm assuming CB is the COVID. With that, I guess we have opportunity for the Cdbg grant opportunity again. We kind of spoke with this about this a little bit at our work session last week. And there's a couple of different opportunities I think that would like to explore. Shane, do you want to?
So we put together a map that shows a couple of options for sidewalk projects. I think you guys have that in your packet. Like we talked before, the sidewalk project would rank fairly well and very, very well in the scoring process. You know, as a good project. So put together a couple. We've completed, I think, just one project now or two?
On the sidewalks.
Yeah. Just one. We completed the one, and it was basically Texas Williams, north on the north and south directions. So there's one I put together. There's a couple different options. We can do stuff further north between 4th and 5th, just east of the school, or just continue east from where we left off the last project and go from 4th to roughly 1st, including King and Evans. So it's basically 2 projects. What it would take to finish the east side of town. So I have a preference either way. And I don't know if it makes sense to get the stuff closest to the school done first or the stuff further away to get them closer to the school. So I don't really know.
I looked at these and in my opinion, just for the fact that we have a lot of children that walk to school, my preference would be to have it centered around the school, that we use that one first, that we fill that one first.
The one directly east of the school?
Yes.
There is also, just so everybody knows, at the last MPO committee, we originally had a study going on in the next few months, slated to begin in the next few months, to look at the feasibility of sidewalks and things on Western. Street. Since our bike path project identified most of that and put that out, the MPO has agreed to move that project over to Evans Street. So starting within the next 6-8 months, there will be a study put out to assess the walkability of the Evans Street corridor. So just because that plays into this a little bit, I figured that should be put out
Yes,
there.
I didn't know that.
Mr.
Scott?
Mayor, just in my head, real quick, is there any way, and I don't know, Janelle, you guys deal with the school districts at all to find out if there's a number of school-aged children? Is there any way to find out within these two kind of neighborhood breakdowns, figure out if there's a benefit?
I don't know if they would share that information, but
Probably, that's why I was just
Chief
curious.
Thompson might have an idea.
A lot of
He's down patrolling, how many's walking from that area.
A lot of the times they will. They have their PIO, and they do keep track of a lot of, because they do surveys throughout the year, and they do ask the kids if they walk to school. And a lot of the times they will share it because it's, they're not giving out pertinent information. They're not like telling you where the kids actually live, but they will share that too.
I was just
At-
curious.
at
that would be an
request.
Easy way to just kind of figure out if it would be benefit to more kids than not.
So Shane, do we need to choose which section we're applying for at this point in time, or just create a letter of intent that we're applying for the
Right now,
grants?
The letter of intent is not specific at all. So no, you wouldn't have to say that right now. You probably do, the actual application due the end of September, and I would assume then they'll want a specific area. So that happens on the
Then, as far as legal goes, do you think that it'd be feasible to ask the school for that information?
I don't see why not,
Okay.
especially if we pitch it to them that we want to better the infrastructure for the benefit of the kids since school is starting soon and we can potentially project that.
Yeah, school safety. I know we did a safe routes to school study years ago. I don't remember when that was. That's been a while, but I don't know if they looked at specifics of like the census data sort of thing, or if it was just a. Yes, I don't know how that would be the case to me, like especially, I know there's a lot of bus kids, but I think the bus route actually picked up a bunch of kids there as well.
We do have some that pick up at Evansville, but we do have some that pick up here on the corner by the police station as well.
So, I mean, that would be beneficial either way, but, so if you do at each different section, that would be better.
Point us in the right direction.
I don't know if they have that or not.
Doesn't hurt to ask. So. All right. So does council want to proceed forward with a letter of intent to apply for CDBG grant to address the sidewalks?
Yes.
Yes. Do I do a motion on each one, or, okay.
So since they're going to be fast.
Can I get a motion to submit a letter of intent for the CDBG grant for the sidewalk improvement project?
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Motion passes. All right, the second item that was presented to us that was discussed at the work session last week was a proposal by Mountain West Technologies to expand broadband infrastructure throughout the town to be able to provide higher speed access or high speed access to the citizens and homes within Evansville. A letter was sent out to council from Mountain West, Kyle Ridgway, today, outlining, I don't know if everybody was able to see and review that, outlining their proposal to be able to bring in up to 1 gigabit synchronous service to the homes in Evansville. They are asking that the town partner with them in this project, applying for a CDBG grant related to the COVID funds, outline expansion of broadband. Their proposal outlines a $500,000 project with Mountain West putting in a 20% match, which would be a $400,000 request to make that $500,000 project. So with that, any discussion on that proposal?
No, just to make it clear that if they did not get the grant, their intentions are to continue with this project and still not cost the town any money, correct?
That is my understanding from the proposal that was brought forth at our work session. Mountain West plans on building out this infrastructure one way or the other. Their ask is that the town partner with them applying for the grant, which then outlines in their proposal that they would provide discounted service to the citizens of the community. So if they receive that grant. But my understanding is they are going to build out this project one way or the other.
They need the municipality as the submitter.
Correct. Yes. Any other questions, comments about this proposal? Do I have a motion to proceed with the letter of intent for the community development block grant for the COVID funds with Mountain West? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
And I just add to that, I mean, that their last paragraph says that Mountain West is willing to help in whatever way possible with the submission of the letter of intent and the application packet generally. I'm not sure exactly what that means and what they're gonna do and what I might have to do to write the grant or to help, so just let me clarify that.
Yeah.
What I intend to do this end of this week, so, and it's simple, I mean, I can do that with a phone call to them,
I think we could
15 minutes.
use some of their letter to just kind of redo the format. And then that'll be the top of it, just want to come up with-
I mean, the letter of intent is just a form,
Okay.
and it's simple.
Yeah, if you want to give it a go, and then I can do better,
Okay.
And that's a good point Shane was brought up because that was discussed at the work session last week. And Mountain West had exclaimed that they would basically put forth all the effort to make the grant proposal and everything on the town's behalf so that wouldn't be a cost that the town would have to incur.
You better ship them to the letter yet. Transfer over.
So we will touch base with Mr. Ridgway and clarify that. So just make sure there's nothing unexpected.
I think that Kyle wasn't sure if it was a joint application or if we're a block grant generally, and then the COVID specific one as well. So if it's a joint application for both.
They're separate.
Okay.
They're two separate programs, and they specifically want them separate.
Okay, that's what I was under the impression of, so I think, yeah, let's just get with them. Let's get some money tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll just email you over that letter, or you can get it.
That's okay.
All right. Item number 4, replat 1-2021 North Platte Park Edition and resolution number 6, 2021. I can hear you. I don't think you have to.
Okay, well, I didn't know if that would be, I guess I am.
You're on camera.
Back of my head. I will make this brief. Hopefully you had a chance to read it. It was approved. With the recommendations that the owners do the subdivision agreement. Owners shall provide all items and address comments requested by the town staff for construction. Prior to site plan approval and development on the lots, the owner shall provide final design plan, drainage plan, sewer, water plan, review, and approval by the town engineer and public works director. Interim, that the owner shall comply with all local, state, federal rules and regulations governing the development of the lots. But yes, it was passed on the 18th of August.
discussion from council? Do I have a motion to approve the replat 1-2021 North Platte Park Edition and resolution number 6-2021, including the recommendations?
I'll approve.
Have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Item number 5, award of the bids for the patrol units.
Mr. Mayor, Council, brought before you tonight is the proposal for the bids on the two 2021 model all-wheel drive Dodge Durango Pursuit V8 patrol units for the police department with a trade-in of two 2014 Ford Explorers. The bid amount came in at $65,090 with a delivery of 75 days after the payment is received. One of the requirements that's a state statute is that there is a bid bond that's put in place, but there was no bid bond that we received on this. So I passed the question on to the town attorneys, and I don't know if you want to give them your response on the bid bonds.
Sure. Scott and I talked about it earlier today, and the way that the statute is written, the bond is really in place for construction projects and other public works projects where in the event that during the project a portion is not complete, then you can use that bond amount to finish the project. We feel that because these are purchases of vehicles, it's a little bit different. And there's also some language that if the purchase is under $150,000, that you can have a bond binding the bond guarantee. So in the event that the council wanted to have a vote and unanimously pass to waive the 5% bond requirement, I think that would be appropriate as long as there was a written guarantee by the dealership or selling authority that in the event that the cars could not be delivered, the town wouldn't owe anything, or there would be, if there was an issue with delivery, that they would compensate us for the amount of repair or something like that. I think it'd be, the bid bond amount would end up being like a little over $2,000, so that's not a lot, but I haven't personally spoken to the dealership, but if they were weird about posting that kind of bond, I think it would be okay to have a guarantee so that that's contractual.
And I believe Chief Thompson did talk to the dealership Friday.
I've actually talked to them twice. I talked to them today and then last week. So they're good with the bond. They said it's kind of uncharacteristic in their world where they're located at, but they're good to do it, and or if you pass to waive it. There's two vehicles there, so they're going to be delivered if you accept the bid, because we put a $500 hold on said vehicles pending bids that came in. So one way or the other, if you accept the bid, whether they do the bond or not do the bond, they're going to deliver. We don't have to do payment until we inspect the vehicles when they get here, because that was part of the bond thing. They had a thing in there about 75 days. So I called and clarified with them on that, because it was 75 days upon receipt of payment. And I said, well, that's not typically how it works. You receive your product and then we bill. And they're like, well, you're a municipality, so we can do that. So that's been cleared up as well. So the question is whether you want the bond or not at this point. And I don't know that we need it, but again, the statute says it has to be there. I did reach out to WAM today, and we're going to propose rewriting that. Anyways.
Discussion?
I propose that we just do the bond. I don't see any reasoning for doing that
I'm not concerned, especially if we're not paying.
until it gets here.
Yeah, till it gets here. Originally with paying and then waiting 75 days, maybe some assurances that we're going to get our product, but if we're not paying till inspection.
So I think statutorily, there still needs to be some sort of guarantee from them. If it's not a bond, that's okay, but it needs to be with sufficient, I'm just quoting the statute right now, with sufficient surety and payable to the town. So a written guarantee, something like that, I think would probably suffice.
So that's something that the attorney can put together for us.
Yeah, we can do that.
So So do we need a motion on that separately, or can we award the bid with
So I think you can. award
condition
the bid,
of?
Yeah, and in doing so waive the statutory requirement of the bid bond, and in its place have a written guarantee.
Any other discussion? Do I have a motion to award the bid for the patrol units, waiving the bid bond in lieu of a written guarantee?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Engineers report.
Okay, so a couple more things tonight. On the secondary access road project, I have contractor pay request number 4. So this pay request is for a total of $73,963.50. We're no longer holding retainage. We withhold retainage up to 5% of the contract amount. We've already got that amount withheld. So there's no retainage held out of this pay request. So just recommend a motion to pay contractor or pay Grant Construction for pay estimate number 4, following reimbursement from the grant.
I have a motion to proceed with paying Granite Peak for pay request number 4 after reimbursement from the grant. I have a second?
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Passes.
So I've got Wyoming Business Council grant drawdown request number 3 for approval. This includes contract pay request number 4, I just spoke about, $73,963.50. And then a WLC invoice for July for $6,534.20. Total amount of the grant drawdown request is $80,498. Grant covers 100%. So this leaves a remaining balance on the grant of $116,981. We added some to the project to get the paving done, but there'll be a little bit still left over at the end. Anyway, recommend a motion to have the mayor sign and submit Wyoming Business Council grant drawdown request number 3.
I have a motion to proceed with drawdown request number 3.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
So we've already talked about the WCDA stuff. Last thing I had is we have our just agreement that we work off for the new fiscal year. So Mike Lansing has reviewed this because we also use 40 days bill for our council. So that attorney's reviewed it and have the same comments they had. I actually didn't do one last year. It's kind of funny. We've been a county engineer since 2004, and these are hit or miss. I mean, old mayors were like handshake to get this thing done. But what I've found lately is grant agencies really like to see that we're under contract with the town. Anyway, so that's what I've seen kind of primarily. I think it's addressed yearly. Anyway, got our contract for approval.
I have a motion to proceed with the WLC contract for engineering services.
Motion.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I think that's all I have.
I have a motion to approve the engineer's report.
So moved.
I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Item 7, public comments. Have any public comments? Public comments? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn? I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn at 7:20. Okay.
There's our
I'm steady going and then the